Hello. I'm Jason Lever. I'm here with Kate Conway. And today we are going to watch episode 108 Out with Kenny, which was our first season finale.
Woo.
And we haven't, when was the last time you saw this episode? It's probably been years, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't really, we watch, when new episodes come out, we watch them. And we watch them a lot, and because we want to learn from our what we've done. But then, but the older stuff we don't really go back to very much, do we?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No.
So recording these commentaries is a lot of fun for us because it's really fun to look back and revisit, and it does drum up a lot of memories and everything. So those that are watching with us live, they should have queued up the episode to the 4-second mark, and so we're going to ask you to press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and here we go. It's you!
Oh wow!
And it's Corey Loff.
What?
When was the last time you saw Corey?
Oh, years ago.
It's been a long time.
It's probably season 3 when we.
Yeah. We don't hear from him because he's not really he's not very active on social media. So we just you lose touch with people. Yeah. So this is one of our favorite places that we like to film, and we were just saying how we've shot a lot there.
Yes.
We've shot Out with Dad more than once there, and we've shot your show there.
My show there, and my friend Azad's Love with Layla show, which is a crossover with Kate Conway.
That's right.
I have seen it.
It's a really funny one. Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah, so I definitely recommend you watch that. There's actually a direct reference to Out with Dad in it, so it's really
yeah. That was hilarious. That all coincided.
Yeah. So that was a lot of fun. But this is the exact same spot that we filmed in season 3, but you guys are walking the other direction in season 3, so you're going to school. Our visual effects shot, which is these are both visual effects shots that I'm really proud with. They don't look like visual effects shots, I can't believe even your strands of hair register that's really impressive.
The green screen.
Yeah. That bit there when he turns around and he goes he kind of laughs. That's actually my voice because I didn't have clean audio of him going like this. I thought, well, no. So I just recorded myself.
Secret Easter egg, people. Yeah. Jason Lever Easter egg. Which there's a handful of those throughout your work.
There is. Usually out of necessity, not out of any vanity. It's just
No, Jason doesn't want to be in it at all.
Well, I feel like there's I wrote it, so I am in it. I don't need more than that. So yeah. I was really this scene kind of inspired in a way the scene inspired the whole season, because when I first wrote Out with Dad, it was mostly what is now season 3 and a bit of season 2, and then I went back and decided to write the whole coming out thing, and so I wrote this scene, the coming out, and it was and when I wrote this I was like, oh man, I really do need to explore more of the coming out part. And because remember the show is called Out with Dad. It's about a girl who is out with her dad, not in her closet with her dad. That's an awkward title. So the whole first season is about coming out, which makes the title wrong in a way. But nobody noticed, or they didn't care, at least. Yeah.
You know what this episode makes me think of?
What?
I'm a big pizza fan.
I know what you got. I know your story. Carry on.
I don't know if you know my story. We came to the shoot, and Josh what was his title at the time?
Crew.
Yeah. Josh went and got pizza as the food that we were going to eat, and I couldn't eat it because I had already eaten pizza, and I was very sad.
Oh. That's not the story I thought I'd tell.
What story did you think I was going to tell?
Well, just the fact that, because I remember we all, because it was season 3 that we all went to the pizza joint that's there.
Oh, you're talking about when I was
Yeah, it was a
miserable?
cold day. We were all miserable, and that's when, Bruce was talking about how he stepped in his son's foot that day, and it's just a blah.
No. This, I remember, there was free pizza, and I was upset.
Oh, there's Rebecca's cameo.
Pizza. Rebecca.
Yep. Once again, Rebecca's making cameo, doing production management work in the scene. So this scene, there's a lot of the dialogue here. It's difficult dialogue because this was when I was like almost like trying to be like Joss Whedon. So it's like non-parental okayness and stuff like that. Like this is stuff you'd hear Buffy say maybe, but and I remember there was feedback about that from audience members, but being how like the dialogue wasn't all that realistic, which well it wasn't, and so the stuff in the middle is a lot more realistic because that was all stuff we shot and wrote later, you know. So you know, this episode doesn't, I think, reflect my voice very well. It's more like me trying to be someone else. So, but still fun. Non-parental okayness, I would say that.
I enjoyed the script. I
remember you enjoying it. Yeah.
Now, let's go ask out Alicia.
I'd rather you weren't there.
Asking out Alicia, that's really funny because one of the concepts I always had was that we would never show Alicia. She was going to be like this mystery character. And go figure that it's a big long walk and talk. And now in season 4, whenever it's an Alicia episode, it's a big long walk and talk. I never really noticed that.
Some or a fan at least has commented, is Alicia the new Kenny?
Yeah, and you know that's true actually in a lot of ways.
What was the name of the stuffed animal that I had to talk to?
I don't remember. This was this Liz Hodgson is our
art direction.
Yeah, she's our art director, and that was her doll from it. It's like Lulu or Lolo or something like that.
Funniest name.
Yeah.
Emu or something. It was so and Liz was one of the funniest people to have on your set. Yeah. And she always makes me lose it. So actually filming that scene was difficult to keep a straight face.
On top of it, it was a difficult camera move. So like I think we did like 16 times or something like that.
Yeah. There it is. There's the
Lolo, Lulu.
Would it be in the credits? Did you?
It might be. It might be.
Okay.
So I love this picture of Will right here because this was just on his Facebook, his Facebook once, and so I don't know where the idea came out to print this out and do it. I don't know if it was me or Liz, but at any rate, so I got a kick out of that. This was originally written to be. I wanted it to be like a Nathan Fillion doll and a Claire from Heroes doll, because there's that extra line there that we didn't record, is that you make her a bad lesbian anyways. So there is an alternate take there. Oh yeah, and we jazzed up the end credits. Yeah, with the corkboard thing.
Well, now we gotta see the name of this doll because it's gonna bug me. I'm gonna have to text Liz.
Yeah, we'll have to ask
what was
that.
the name of the doll?
I don't remember. And that's funny because that shot there of Corey dancing, that is his least favorite shot. And I remember at the wrap party when we were doing this. No, it wasn't there. It might be in the thank you.
Yeah.
But I remember him being like, "Oh, why do you choose that shot of all the shots?" I'm like, because it's hilarious. Well, I changed the logo there for that episode. It's a little orangey. Well, because when Rose is jumping up and down on the bed, there's the sun is setting in the background, and that actually is a visual effect. So I added that lens flare there and animated it according to you jumping, and so I had this nice like orange golden thing. So I replaced my lens flare there. You don't care. I'm just geeking out on you a little bit.
I think it's cool. All right.
Yeah, so we're being asked. So this episode is one that could not be rushed. How do you isolate the audio to remove as much of the background sound? Well,
I'm gonna take my sweater. That was a question.
We don't actually. We got lucky with the audio in that. Well, I think you were both wearing lav mics, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they were both wearing lav mics, which the benefit to that is that they're hidden usually in the clothing, and and just because they're so close to the mouth, it means you don't actually have to record at a high volume, meaning you're picking up less things further away. So a lot of these sounds, like in the takes that I chose and cutting around and everything, that was a lot of choice was made based on the traffic. You know, like there was a lot of traffic because we were very close to the road. We moved a few feet away from the road, if you remember, to like just be a bit further away because it did make it quieter. And but the streetcars, when they would go by, they're still quite loud, and so that was a lot of effort. But there's not much you can do to remove noise when you're in that bad situation. So in this case, the audio for this episode, it was just a case of being patient. Like there was a lot of times where we just had to sit there and wait until it got quiet. And do you remember there was an ice cream truck
I don't remember.
There was an ice cream truck, and this goes back to Liz, because Liz, being the funny person that was, so there was an ice cream truck not far away that was trying to sell ice cream, and it played this terrible music. It was like, but it also had a voice, and it would yell, "Hello!" And Liz did the imperfect impersonation of that thing, and so she was like, every time it made that sound, it'd be like, "Hello!" And she would just yell back at it, "Hello!" And it was so loud. And we would, of course, it would sometimes happen in the middle of a take. And you guys would be walking along, it's serious scene, oh, Alicia, hello! It was terrible.
I think I remember that. That's coming back to me.
Yeah. I have to dig through and see if we have that somewhere. Like, that footage has got to be around still.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah. Oh my God, it was so funny. And to this day, so it was like this summer, I was out walking with my daughter, and I see an ice cream truck go by, and it went, "Hello!" And I'm like, "Oh, it's the same one."
I've never heard that. There's ice cream trucks that go around where I live, but I've never heard the hello.
No, I haven't heard it since we shot that episode, and it's so funny because I hadn't heard it since then. I heard it this summer, and I'm like, oh my God, because the one in my neighborhood, it's like a really creepy thing because I think the microphone is the speaker's broken. So when it sings the song, it's like, it's like, sounds like haunted ice cream. It's terrible. So anyway, so we should ask more questions. So when you were when we were doing this is like one of the first times we did a long walk and talk. So what's it like? Is it easier to do that now than then, or is it always hard?
It's always hard.
Yeah,
because you're trying to do so many things at once. You're trying to walk straight, and there's a sort of a rule of the 90-10 we talk about in theater school. When you're having conversation with someone, you spend something, I can't remember if it's 90% of the time. Yeah, it is. You spend 90% of your time like looking at them, and then 10% like looking away, and that like creates sort of a comfortable balance. People who like stare into your eyes the entire time they talk to you, and it's uncomfortable. It looks unnatural because normally people don't do it. It's 90-10. So you're doing stuff like that. You're trying to remember your lines. You're trying to say them realistically. You're trying to listen, because the first rule of acting is listen.
Yeah. But meanwhile, when you're not talking, you're like, oh crap, am I far enough away from the camera, and is everything in focus?
Yeah. So it continues to be like one of the harder things to do. But I guess after 5 years, I'm not as terrified going into it. I remember when we showed up, and you're like, this is going to be a walk and talk.
Well, I didn't say that. I said, like, let's just see how far we got, because I didn't know how easy or hard it would be. Like, I didn't even know, like, just for the sake of my own arm, like, how good would it be? Like, because, like, that's all done handheld with no special rigging, so it's not, like, the smoothest, right? Whereas the most recent episode that we'd filmed, the Elephants in the Room with Alicia, like, it's, apart from, like, one obvious mistake that Jonathan tells me is okay, and then I'm going to go with him. It's way smoother because we had a fancy rig that Will Wong lent us, a friend of ours. He's not accepting payment, by the way. He says, put it back into the production.
William Wong.
Yeah, that's really nice of him, eh? I guess that's that for episode 108, which was fun. It was fun rewatching that.
Yeah.
And because coming out, that was the thing I think I was most nervous writing about, because I never had to come out, and you've never had to come out. And so, but that idea of like, what must it feel like when you're about to tell something really big? And I was thinking about how like the world just sort of stops.
Didn't you also speak to a lot of people? Like, you went around to sort of people you knew in the LGBT community?
Just not so much that, no, but I read a lot online. Like, I read a ton, and and well, coming out can't be synonymous with everything, but like there are those things in life where you've got something really big you've got to tell someone that you don't want to tell them, or
that we've all been there.
We've all been there for something, yeah. And while I'm sure it's not comparable to something like as like to your core who you are,
and the
you can
projection fear.
So like
great.
Yeah, but you can, I inferred what that must be like, and that's what we did, and it's always, the comments on that one was always overwhelmingly assuring that we did our job right, because we take our job very seriously, that we want to do this as authentically as possible. And anyway, but thanks to our fans, we continue to do so.
Yes, thank you very much.
So thank you for everyone that was joined us live, and thank you to everyone that's watching this now. If you'd like to join us next time, we do this it's the third Thursday of every month, generally speaking.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be next time because we'll be filming those new episodes that day. So we'll look for the announcement of when the next recording is. And patrons of Out with Dad who are supporting us by $10 or a month or more, they get to join us live and interact with us. And we'd like to have more of you join us because it's a lot of fun. The more people that are here, the better.
Yeah,
So,
you guys come up with interesting questions and comments, and
Yeah.
you think, like, you say stuff about the show that we never thought of. And we're
Yeah.
like, what?
Because we don't really prepare for this. Like, we kind of want to go in blind, and see what comes out of it. So, good stuff. So, thanks for joining me.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. See you again next time, guys.
Au revoir.